Welcome to a new episode of my Linux driver tutorials. In my previous videos I already introduced you to character device files and I've shown you how to implement callback functions for reading, writing, opening and closing character devices. And for a lot of devices this is already enough and you can do everything with it you want. But for some types of devices you need functionality beyond just reading and writing. For example, if you want to be able to set or read out configuration to a device, or if you want to be able to reset a device, then you need a mechanism beyond reading and writing. And ioctl is such a mechanism you can use for gaining functionality beyond reading and writing from a character device. And in today's video I want to show you how you can implement ioctl in a Linux driver. So here I'm connected to my Raspberry Pi over SSH, and now let me navigate into my Linux driver tutorials folder. So in here you can see all the various episodes I've already done on my Linux driver tutorials, and as a template for today's video I will use lesson 10 auto device file, and I will create a new one I will call ioctl. Or let's start with simple ioctl, because today will be just a brief introduction and in a later video I will show you a little bit more about ioctl. Okay, so now let me navigate into this folder. In here we have three files: the C source file for our driver, a make file to build the driver, and a readme which tells you a little bit more about the kernel module or this lesson if you're taking a look at it at GitHub. Okay, so let me open the hello cdiff.c file. So this is a very simple implementation which shows you how to create a character device and how to implement the read callback here. But I don't want to have the read callback here, so let me delete it. And let's also delete this here in the file operation structs, which show us all the file operations which are supported by this device. And yet down here you have basically the code for registering a range of device numbers, then creating a character device, adding the character device to the system and binding it to the device number. So this is basically all you can see here, and in the remove function we are destroying the device, we are unregistering the class, and we are deleting the device numbers. So that's basically what we are doing. But now we want to implement the ioctl function. So let me declare a new function with the return value long integer, and I will call it my ioctl. And the ioctl function has three arguments. The first one is a pointer from the type struct file, which is just a pointer to the currently opened device file. The second argument is an unsigned integer, and this is the command which we are passing to the ioctl. And the last argument is from the type unsigned long, and this I will call arguments, because this is basically a pointer to the arguments which were passed to ioctl. And in this function I will print out an info line to the kernel's log. ioctl called with command, and then here I will print out the command and argument and args, and here I will print out a pointer to the arguments. Okay, and here I will add the command or print out the command and the arguments. And I forgot to open the braces or the ticks here, and there should be hello. Okay, and to indicate ioctl finished successfully, we will return a 0, and that's basically it. And now here in the file operations we have to say we want to set the callback function for unlocked ioctl to my ioctl. Alright, so much for the driver implementation. Let's try to compile it and let's see if I made a mistake here. Okay, yes, here maybe I should do a cast. So So let's cast it to a void pointer. So we're getting rid of these warnings here. Yep, now it's looking good. And now let me create a simple userspace program which shows you how to invoke I/O control from within the user space. And I will call it test.c. So first we need some headers, so let's include standard io.h, then standard lib.h, Unix standard.h, file control.h, and for the I/O control we need to include sys/io control.h. Here I will create a main function, and in the main function the first thing I will do is I will open my device file, which should be def hello 0, and I want to open it with read and write privileges. Then of course I have to check if opening of the file was successful, and if not I will print out an error message and I will return from my main function here. And at the end of course I have to close my file descriptor. And in here I want to do the I/O control now. And yeah, maybe let's declare some variables here. Okay. And maybe let's also use a status variable. And here I will call I/O control. The first argument is the file descriptor, over which I want to use for I/O control. The second one is the command number, so let's use 1 here. And the next pointer would be a pointer to some arguments, and for the first call I will set this to null. And then I will print here I/O control returned %d. In our case it will just return 0. Okay, let me copy these 3 lines here, and let's call I/O control again, but this time with the command 1, 2, 3, 4. And here I will pass a pointer to my character here. And here I will print out the status, and here let's do one more I/O control. So with a quite long number. And here we'll pass a pointer to the integer here. Okay, so much for the test program. Let me also try to compile this, and it worked. Now let me open up tmux first to spawn a second window where we can view the kernel's log. Okay, then I will load our kernel module. So you can see the device here is loaded, and I can see my hello 0 device file in /dev. And what I will do now is I will call my test program with root privileges, so it has the rights to open hello 0. And what we can see here, I/O control was called 3 times and always returned 0. And here in the driver we can see the first time it was called with command 1 and the argument pointer was set to null. Then here it was called with 1, 2, 3, 4 command, and the arguments is now set to a value. And the third time we can see this high number here as a command, and the argument pointer is a different one compared to the one here where we passed our character device. Okay, yeah, so that's how to use I/O control in a simple Linux kernel module or driver. Next time I will show you how we can get out the arguments from within the driver and what we have to do with the commands. So that's it for today. I hope you've enjoyed the video and learned something. In case you want to support my work, you can buy me a coffee on buymeacoffee.com/linux4linux. So thanks for watching and goodbye.